So, what is today's date?
2081. Ashadh.
Ashadh 2nd, right?
Yes.
2081, Ashadh 2nd, Sunday. And we are nearly at the end of our syllabus for first term. By tomorrow, the syllabus will be over, and 1 or 2 more days question discussion, and then yourself question preparation and discussion over here. I will give you the grid. Accordingly, you have to prepare a question. Understood or not? Then you will be habituated. So that work also will be of this, what to say, um, group wise. Like group A will make one question, group B another, group C another, and group D another. Okay, so now let me open the slide and things what they are going to do. Um, Tell me, which chapter are we doing? Nature and environment. And what was it discussed last time? It means types of ecosystem, right? Mainly we discussed two ecosystems. What is the first one? Pond ecosystem or water ecosystem. That is the example of water ecosystem. And next one is a land ecosystem. That is the example of land. No, grassland ecosystem. Example of land ecosystem. So you must keep in mind that there is presence of producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and the apex consumer and decomposers. There must be producer, consumer, and what is next? Decomposer. So in today's class, students are going to discuss about what? Adverse impacts of climate change and global warming on ecosystem, right? Hello, group D. Yes, that is number one. And number second, what is here? Here are some headings. What is that heading? Number one is migration of organisms, extinction of organisms, and behavior change of organisms. These three things we have to do. And last time we discussed about this MCQ also, right? And I remembered our students, they have taken part in Satya Sai Education Foundation quiz contest, and altogether 63 students they participated, right? 63 schools or 63? Yeah, 63 schools participated, and among 63 schools, Anupam Vidyasadan became fifth. Give them a big round of applause. Yes. So, migration of organisms and extinction of organisms, and what is next? Behavior change of organisms. I think that was only. And this interaction among living beings. There are some terms: predation, symbiosis or mutualism. Next one, commensalism. Next one, parasitism, and next one is competition. These five interrelations will be discussed tomorrow. So without wasting time, let me welcome on the stage today's presentator. Which today's presentator? Anmol Adhikari. Give him a big round of applause. And okay, sorry? Okay, his super guru is Vidal Kharka.
Animation. No animation.
You can make bigger and
Namaskar, I'm very warm. Good morning to Honorable Principal Sir, our science teachers, and my dear friends. It's me, Anmol Adhikari, standing in front of you to give about a presentation. And my topic is ecosystems. And in the topic ecosystem, I've got the category of adverse impact of climate change and global warming on ecosystem. Some of the real events are given below. Discuss the cause and effects of these events. Some effects of global adverse relationships are: it is found that present polar bears are thinner and on hill thinner than those of 20 years before. And the impacts are: it is found that the present polar bears, which are live in very cold region, they are very thinner and on hill than the previous 20 years before polar bear. And it is also considered as this is because of global warming. Migration pattern of animals is affected due to effect on the migration route. There are many animals which migrate from one place to another for their survival, and from the very global warming, they cannot find their route for the next place where they will migrate. Fruiting in plants occur either too early or too late. It affects the animals' reproduction who feed on them. Because of the very vast global warming, fruiting of many fruits occur very fast or very late, and it impacts on animals which animals child or children who has to feed them and to reproduce also. Growth, seedling period, and lifespan of plants are affected. Growth, the growth of animals, seedling of any fruit or vegetable, and lifespan of plants means before 200 years ago, plants live for many thousand years or many years, but because of global warming, the lifespan of plants are affected, means they are not alive for 50 years to 60 years also. Rhododendron normally blossom in the month of Fagun and Baisakh, mid of February to mid of April. However, the plants have begun to blossom earlier in the month of December. All this is occurred because of global warming. Global warming affects the Earth day-to-day life. Today, tomorrow, if any uh, precaution is not used, then further the earth can be destroyed also. You can.
So Anmol has got topic about di- adverse
Impacts.
impacts of climate change and global warming on ecosystem. So as in all are known to this word climate change and global warming. Global warming is the condition in which our Earth's temperature is increased in vast form, and climate change is sometimes it rains in summer season, or it is very hot in cold season, or very cold in hot season. These are some examples. So here are some effects, and there are some of the real events are mentioned here. Effects of these events: it is found that present polar bears are thinner and unhealed deer than those of 20 years before. That means due to vast change in climate, the polar bears which live in cold region are very much thin. The fur of these animals' body has become very thin, and they are not able to handle or bear the cold temperature anymore. And if we compare the polar bears of 20 years ago, then they seem to be more active and healthier than that of now. Next is migration pattern of animal is affected due to effect on the migratory route. That means those animals which move from one place to another. This global warming and climate change has affected their migration pattern or their destination, which has been adversely affected by the climate change, are also not able to be migrated. And next is fruiting in plants animals occurs either too early or too late. That means the reproduction or fruiting in the plants occur either very fast speed or very much late. It affects the animals reproduction who feed on them. That means who feed on those kind of plants whose fruiting occurs very late or fast, their reproduction is also affected due to these activities. So we can know that not only plants are affected by global warming, all of us human being or any kind of organisms are affected by the global warming. So next here is mentioned about growth, seedling period, and lifespan of plants are affected. That means lifespan of plant. All the life cycle, from the germination to reproduction, everything is affected due to global warming. And next is rhododendron normally blossoms in the month of Fagun and Baisakh, mid-February to mid-April. However, the flowers have begun to blossom earlier. That means rhododendron are very beautiful flowers which usually grows during the months of Fagun and Baisakh. That means middle of the February to middle of the April. However, these flowers have begun to blossom earlier in the month of December. This is one of the major example of climate change and their impact on the plants life. So these are some of the effects of the climate change and global warming on plants and animals.
Although people use the terms global warming and climate change interchangeably, they are different terms. Global warming is the rise of global temperature due to over greenhouse effect, and also climate change is the increasing change in the measure of participation, temperature, wind patterns over a long period of time. Due to the regular climate change and human activities globally, the temperature is increasing more rapidly than the normal rate. Water resources, human health, and different species of an ecosystem are threatened by the climate change. The average temperature of the earth is increasing in a high speed, which cause adverse effects on organism and unlimitedly on the ecosystem of every community. Species and ecosystem are affected by climate change mainly in the following three ways: migration in organism, extinction of organism, behavior change of organism.
And here next it is mentioned about global warming. Global warming and climate change are totally different. They have their own kind of definition, and here it is written that global warming is the rise in global temperature due to over greenhouse effect. That means due to over greenhouse effect or the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, global warming takes place in the presence of global temperature which is very high. And climate change is the increasing change in measures of precipitation, temperature and wind patterns over a long period of time. That means if for the long period of time a same kind of climate is not seen or different kind of climate takes place, then it is also can be said as climate change. So you can say the measures of precipitation, temperature and wind patterns. That means all the patterns of climate are changed here. And due to regular climate cycle and human activities globally, the temperature is increasing more rapidly than the normal rate. That means nowadays we are feeling very hot. It is also due to our own negative activities. Due to the regular climate cycle and our global activities also are responsible for the more hot seasons. And water resources, human health and different species of an ecosystem are threatened by the climate change. That means we all organisms or any kind of water resources or different ecosystem existing in the ecosystem are affected by the climate change. And the average temperature of the earth is increasing in high speed. As we all know, the temperature of the earth is being very much high, and this adverse effect on organisms and ultimately on the ecosystem of every community. And species and ecosystem are affected by climate change mainly in three ways: that are migration of organisms, extinction of organisms, and behavior changes of organisms.
Thank you very much, Anmol and Grizel. So, children, they are here presentator and super guru. So, from tomorrow, presentator must not forget to send that file to the super guru so that super guru also becomes prepared on it, right? And come, that is okay. So, here is given about some of the examples of uh, climate change and global warming. So very lovely things are given. See, it was one example like rhododendron. Its blossom time is February to mid-February to mid-April, means a bit low temperature. But now in February and mid-April, the temperature is quite high. When the temperature is suitable for rhododendron to blossom in December. So it is blossoming earlier also. And these polar bears are being thinner. And not only that, mosquitoes, they are found in Jomsom, in Mustang also. Earlier, mosquitoes were not found in even Kathmandu as well. We used to hear about dengue. Nowadays, people they say dengue, 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 right? So some they say dengue, some they say dengue, some they say dengue. Anyway, this is same, which is uh, transmitted from one person to another by mosquito, right? So that mosquito could not survive in cold season nowadays also, but the temperature of hilly region and mountain region is increasing, and it became suitable for it to survive, and the mosquito visits this side also and causes that disease. And here is given due to climate change, three type of effects can be seen. What are they? Migration of organisms. They don't stay in the same place. They just move from one to another. And extinction of organism. If the temperature does not become suitable, then what to do? They just die. They cannot exist. And next one is behavioral change of organisms. All right. Thank you very much. You see here. Oh, very lovely diagram is brought. The birds are migrating from one place to another. I have heard one bird is there, Arctic tern. Arctic tern, it lives in North Pole. And again, during summer season in Northern Hemisphere, then that bird flies over a long distance and reaches in South Pole. See, that is just a seasonal migration. Okay, now it's the turn of next member of Group B, Group D, not B, Group D, none other than Rajan Thapa. Give me a big round of applause. And his supervisor is Vijay Thakkar. Okay.
Namaskar and welcome. Good morning to all. As you all know, it's me Rajan Thapa standing here to explain about some topics such as migration of organisms, extinction of the organism, behavior change of organisms. Migration of organisms. Migration of the organisms, the average change in the temperature of the water and the land affect the habitat of the organism. Either the organism of the habitat have to die there, or they have to shift to another place from the protection which is called migration. Migration of those animals and plant affect the whole ecosystem, as there are many organisms which feed on them. In this way, not only a species but the whole ecosystem is affected. The ecosystem of the place that place abandoned by these organisms, as well as the ecosystem of their destinations also get affected, as the organism of the particular tropical level increase suddenly.
So here Anmol has brought slide about migration of organisms, and the every change in temperature of water and land affects the habitat of organisms. So now we are living here in this climate, and if we suddenly go to the next region or any kind of Himalayan region, then we won't be able to survive there. In the similar way, if there is any kind of certain change in our temperature, then we won't be able to survive in that kind of temperature. Either the organisms of habitat have to die there or have to shift to another place for their protection. This is called migration. That means if there is certain or any kind of average temperature change in their destination, then they have to move from there to next place, or they have to die there. And if they move from one place to another for their own safety, then this is called migration. Migration of those animals and plants affect whole the ecosystem, as there are many organisms which feed on them. For instance, if one organism go to next destination, then which could feed on them, they won't be able to fulfill their needs. So this is one kind of effect, and in this way not only a species but whole ecosystem is affected. So due to one kind of species, whole ecosystem can be affected. The ecosystem of that place abundant by these organisms as well as ecosystem of their destination also gets affected. So the place where they to whom they live also are affected, and where they go are also affected by their migration, and destination also gets affected as the organism of particular trophic labor increase suddenly, and it affects because the destination population increases suddenly.
Another topic is
Extinction.
extinction of the organ, organism. Organism. The extinction of the organism occurs when the last individual of the species dies, leading to the end of the species existence on Earth. Extinction can result for the natural events such as the volcanic eruption, climate change, and the natural selection, or from human activities such as habitat destruction, pollution, overhunting, and introduction of invasive species. While extinction is a natural part of the evolution, the current rate of the extinction is significantly uh, accelerated by the human impact, leading to the cancer about the biodiversity loss and the ecosystem stability.
So next effect of climate change is extinction of organism. So here are some figures of the extinct animals. They are mammoth, saber-toothed tiger, glyptodon, dodo bird, and Tasmanian tiger. So there are some animals which were extincted, and let's know the reason. The extinction of an organism when the last individual or species dies, leading to end of the species existence on the earth. Extinction can result from natural events such as volcanic eruption. That means different kinds of causes are there for extinction of organisms such as volcanic eruption, climate change, and natural selection. Sometimes nature only select that which kind of animals should exist and which do not. So that is known as natural selection. Or from human activities. That means nowadays humans are destroying the forest, and they do not know that they are also destroying the habitat of those wild animals who depend only upon the forest. And pollution, overhunting, pollution, using of overuse of petroleum products and not using of electric vehicles are also leading to pollution. And overhunting, that means just making for the fun also people are doing overhunting. This can lead to extinction of other organisms and introduction of invasive species. While extinction is a natural part of evolution, the current rate of extinction is significantly accelerated by human impact, leading to concerns about biodiversity loss and ecosystem stability. That means this extinction is a natural part of evolution, but this extinction also can lead us to negative impact. That is, we have that can lose biodiversity and ecosystem stability.
Another is behavior change on the of organism. Behavior change of organism or behavior of different animals and plants gets changed due to the climatical change, which directly affect the ecosystem of the community. Animals change their behavior. Hibernation period. It means they have to break their hibernations earlier than the normal period.
So next topic is behavior change of organisms. The behavior of different animals and plants get changed due to climate change, which directly affects the ecosystem of community. That means in the main cause of changing behavior in the organism life also there is responsible, that climate change is responsible for that. And animals change their hibernation period. It means they have to break their hibernation earlier than the normal period. Thank you and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, today's presentators. The slides are made by Anmol Adhikari. Give him a big round of applause. And to make slide, it is a bit difficult task because the person must read and find out the different sources and copy, paste, read and come. And those others, presentators, they are not very much sincere. Eh? Only reading this one doesn't matter. There is a great negligence, boy. You must be prepared yourself. Which part you are going to explain? Not only which part, which portion is given to your whole group. Every individual must read and must be able to explain about it. So three things were mentioned here: migration of organisms, extinction of organisms, and behavioral change of organisms. Why do the organisms migrate? Because the environment is not suitable for them. It is given due to volcanic eruption. The temperature of the earth increases, and organisms they have to leave that place, shift from there to other places. And when one organism migrates to another place, then it drastically affects the ecosystem because the animal which feeds on that particular organism is also affected. Next one is extinction of organisms. What a lovely diagram she has brought here. See, extinct. These are the extinct animals, right? What are they? Mammoth, saber-tooth tiger. What a long teeth are there, right? Next one, glyptodon, a kind of crocodile. No, tortoise, not crocodile, tortoise. Dodo bird and tiger. Look at here. Tasmanian tiger means, do you know where is Tasmania? Tasmania lies in eastern part of Australia, right? So, tiger was like that. They could not adjust in the changing climatic conditions and they extinct. And the last one is behavioral change. So, here is one word, hibernation. What is hibernation? There are two words. One is hibernation. One is hibernation and another is estivation. Aestivation. What is hibernation? During winter season, some organisms cannot bear the extreme cold, so they hide inside the ground for a certain period of time. That is called hibernation. And what is here? Estivation. What is estivation? Estivation is the time duration of some organisms in which they hide in some cold places during summer season. Especially frog, toad, they cannot bear extreme cold. They hide under the ground during winter season. Snakes, they cannot bear extreme hot. That's why they hide inside the ground during daytime. During daytime, we don't see the snakes, but during nighttime they become active because temperature is very high, isn't it? So that is the portion explained by them. And at last, what is here? Thank you for your attention also, right? So anyway, so you must pay full-fledged attention, read and practice yourself. You have to be smart yourself, right? Understood or not? That's why you are divided into 5 groups, and each group leader, guru, must make the standard of other friends minimum 60%, maximum 100%. So I don't want to see anybody failing in the subjects. So today is 2nd. Now 19 days are left for your examination, first term examination, and you will get very soon your syllabus and routine. Okay, tomorrow presentation will be over. So children, you take out your book. At first read and make note of it immediately. Thank you.